I've reviewed the most recent battle report. What was it like coming face to face with Corel?
I mean, I barely made it out alive.
He may not have shown it, but he was worried about you. Alpha?
I was. And I want you to take it easy for a while. Try a different mission. Have a look at this.
What are these?
We discovered them when we were going through records of past operations. These ones seem to involve your parents. So I'm hoping you'll look into them.
Records about my parents? Grandma, when are Mom and Dad coming back? Mom said she'd bring me a birthday present. She hates me, doesn't she? Is that why she left me? And Dad? Grandma, I don't want you to leave me too. I can't even remember what my parents looked like. When I think about my childhood, I only remember being with my grandmother. Why are you giving me this now? I'm fine. I'm fully recovered. I'd like to be assigned to a different operation.
Bunny, this is an order.
Ugh.
It won't be easy to find and restore these records. I've assigned you this because you're the best person for the job, and I expect you to do your best.
All right. I guess I'll do it.
Good. Don't forget I'll need progress reports. And you can ask Nell if you need anything.
Fine. Leave it to me.
I knew my mom and dad were soldiers, but I had no idea they were involved in such a top secret operation. These files are pretty unclear. I need to find more operation records. If I follow the trail, I might be able to find a lead or two. Mom! Dad! I hate you! You always leave me behind! I don't want to stay with Grandma. I want to stay with you, Mom. Dad, where are you going? You said you'd play with me. I hate you. And I hate you too, Mom. And Grandma.
Have you completed preparations? Good work, Descendant. The Colossus was stronger than average, and you still achieved a resounding victory. However, as long as the dimensional wall remains open, the invasion of the Colossi will never end. Until the dimensional wall is closed, humankind will have no choice but to live with the fear of the Colossi. Descendant, securing the Iron Hearts and closing the dimensional wall, it isn't just to defeat the Vulgus. If we cannot stop the invasion of Ingress by the Colossi, there will be no hope for humanity. Remember your calling. I will focus more attention on monitoring the Void Dimension.
That was a job well done, Descendant. While you were intercepting the Colossus, the guide gave Enzo some important intel. It concerns the next operation, so head back to HQ once you're ready.
Warning. Large-scale dimensional breach in progress. Colossus arrival imminent. Due to...
Just get to the point. Descendant, using the Ancestors' data, the guide claims to have discovered a zone where an Ironheart has been excavated. After undergoing emergency restoration protocols at that location, the guide should be able to track the Ironheart. The problem is, the Ironheart excavation site is near a Vulgus munitions factory. It's a weapons production site where cyborg Vulgus, the Legion of Immortality, are manufactured. Sharon and the Colon Special Forces along with Jeremy have been deployed there as the front line, and a bridgehead has been secured. I've assigned you to this operation as well. Sharon has exceptional infiltration skills, but I need someone who can lead the battle. Your mission is to infiltrate the Ironheart excavation site and restore the guide's system. I still have my doubts about the guide. Even for this operation, I'm sending you into the Lion's Den on the strength of her words. But after witnessing the intercept battle, I've made up my mind. We must find the Ironheart and close the dimensional wall as soon as possible. Failure to do so would leave the remnants of humankind to be trampled by the Colossi, even if we win the war against the Vulgus. So, I have decided to put my trust in the strategic value of the guide. For now. Descendant, I leave this operation in your hands. The fate of humanity rests on your shoulders.
If all modules were the same, I'd be out of a job, right? Welcome to the Modules Lab.
What do you want? You're here. Welcome to the Vulgus Munitions Factory. You've made quite the impression at Kingston. So much so, I was tempted to recruit you for Colon. But then again, the enemy isn't exactly a pushover. However, now that we have the Guide as a strategic asset, I'm sure the trajectory of this war will change drastically. Shall we get started? Based on the coordinates provided by the Guide, the Ironheart excavation site is near the enemy's industrial zone. Unfortunately, the exact location needs to be confirmed in person. The coordinates are based on data from the time of the ancestors, and there's a high probability that the topography today will look a little different. I'll do recon around the industrial zone. While I'm doing that, your mission is to create a diversion to draw the enemy's eyes away from me. Even though I have active camouflage, things will be much easier if you can hold the enemy's attention. I'll tell Jeremy to stay behind and provide operational support. Jeremy seems to be unable to link with the guide, so he won't be much use in finding the excavation site. He'll be better deployed using his arcade teleportation abilities as support for your diversion operation. Let's get moving. We need to restore the guide system as soon as possible.
What, me? Support? For crying out loud. Get to the point. Guide, guide, guide. That's all everybody talks about these days. Since when did the higher-ups at Albion conduct operations based on the word of a spirit? Not to mention, excluding an excellent descendant like myself from this operation, everything's clearly going very well. Hey, you think it's funny I can't link with the guide? All right then, let's consider which descendants aren't able to link with the guide right now. Let's see. It's only me and Alpha, yes? Looks to me like the commander of Albion and the strongest descendant are the only ones who are still sane. If I were you, I'd think carefully about why you've been designated as a bait, and I'm going to do things my way. Don't even think about tagging along. Huh. Do you really think you can even attempt to follow me? With my arcade abilities?
You've been ambushed. Or did you let it happen? Have faith in it first well. But you mustn't let your guard down. Those oldest networks have had quite a few upgrades recently. You may suddenly encounter powerful units that aren't in our database. Occupied territory. There's no end to them.
Nothing can stop the Legion. Destroy you. Invader of the Legion captures enemy. Nothing can stop the Legion.
High-level Volga is closing in. We confirm it's new Kuiper-enhanced variant.
It's built from the same material as the one we're after. Make a note in the operations log, number 17. Thanks to the enemies being drawn your way, infiltration is going smoothly. Good job.
Receiving info on mark. Position of Volga's power plant confirmed. Mission request. Destruction of generators as a feint attack.
I heard Captain Harris let you in on a fun trick. Certain Legion of Immortality units have parts that can act as fuses. We can use those.
Probability of fused parts. Hold on. High-level Vulgus closing in. Request combat engagement.
I'm transmitting to all Allied forces deployed to this operation. We have an urgent development, requesting backup. Number 17 has received details. All units are to head to the mining outpost.
have something to tell me? Descendant, we have an urgent report on Sharon. Her current position is near the Vulgus munitions factory. Thanks to your diversionary tactics, she was able to reach the target safely, but the Vulgus have appeared. This is the sitrep recorded by Sharon's Asive.
Operating arcade tracking matrix. Kyber retrofitted active camouflage detected. Probability of zone infiltration high. Ironheart excavation site status. Quarantine at the highest level of security. Terminate the Descendant on site. Terminate. Terminate.
This cyborg Vulgus, Edelik, is a commando-level model specializing in defense missions. It's armed with arcade tracking functions. And it seems the Vulgus already know about the Ironheart excavation site. I was told that the Ancestors' data was tightly guarded at Kingston. If the Vulgus have gained access to it, however, then this rigorous level of security makes sense. For the moment, Sharon has requested an attack on the repository's core facility to lure the Vulgus commander. Once the Vulgus have vacated the factory, she intends to try and infiltrate it again. Descendant, you and Jeremy are to launch an attack on the repository.
Are you sure this guide can be trusted? Didn't you guys win at Kingston?
Focus on the mission, Jeremy.
Descendant, I am at a loss for words. The Ancestors' data that the Vulgus obtained in Kingston was formatted in such a way that it could not be fully viewed until all of the data packets were combined. The Vulgus managed to transmit around 90% of the data. Defeating their commander prevented them from transmitting the remaining 10%. But they were able to reconstruct the missing 10% themselves and read all of the data. How was that possible? I need to analyze this. Descendant, you need to continue your search for the Ironheart excavation site. If the Vulgus enter it first, they may destroy the entire site after they find what they want. We must hurry.
How pathetic. A full operation for such a minor target? Guess the Colon Special Forces aren't that special after all. I've sent you a more appropriate mark, so you can show me what you can really do with those highfalutin skills of yours. Get it together, come on!
Sending info on mark. Target, Vulgus Kuiper storage tanks. Descendant, be advised, the storage tanks should not be detonated. The key objective is to disarm security and seize the Kuiper packs stored within. Vulgus used the rare metal Kuiper in a different way from us. Specifically, the way they process it causes massive contamination and contributes to the destruction of the environment in Ames. Research to restore the environment is underway. To help this, you need to seize the Kuiper from the Vulgus. And if you can keep their commander occupied, even better. sending info on Mark. Target, Vulgus Kuiper storage tanks. Descendant, be advised. The storage tanks should not be detonated. The key objective is to disarm security and seize the Kuiper packs stored within. Vulgus used the rare metal Kuiper in a different way from us. Specifically, the way they process it causes massive contamination, the destruction of the environment in Ingress. Research to restore the environment is underway. To help this, you need to seize the Kuiper from the Vulgus. And if you can keep their commander occupied, even better. All storage tanks disabled. Mission relay terminated.
This is Sharon. Nice work with the support. I've managed to shake off their tracking. I'm scouting for intel around the factory. I've relayed the coordinates of the temporary outpost, requesting all units to regroup at the designated location. Officially beginning infiltration operation. Deactivating active camouflage. I'm alive, thanks to you. And you even found time to attack the Vulgus Kuiper facility. I've really gotta hand it to you. Oh yeah, how did I manage to get the slip on Ederlich? He retreated as soon as the battle at the mining site was over and headed toward a facility. It looked like he'd planned to do so from the beginning. I wondered what he was up to, but he actually did us a favor in the end. I think the Ironheart excavation site is underneath that facility. A pretty hastily built structure? Check. Multiple security devices guarding the entrance? Check. Commander-level Vulgus disappearing inside? You can see how it all adds up, right? I need to assign missions to all operatives to shut down the facility's multiple security devices. It'll require specific procedures, but I've had experience in dismantling many of these types of devices. Let's move. We need to get in there before the Vulgus can do anything to the excavation site.
I have to admit, not even my RK can penetrate the quantum barrier of these security devices. Those rust buckets have put some thought into this.
rabbits when I was a kid. But Mom loved them. It was seriously weird. I mean, she named me Bunny for crying out loud. Enough of that. These records seem to indicate my parents were looking for something. Soldiers who aren't descendants don't usually carry out operations in such dangerous zones. I wonder if Alpha or Nell know more about this.
What is it, Bunny? Do you have something to report?
Not exactly. I've been looking into some of the records and I noticed something unusual. Could I get access to other records related to this operation?
Unfortunately, the records of operations from that time are incomplete. Even if you can locate them, most of them are unreadable. But Nell is excellent at tracking down records. She'll be able to help you.
If you need something for battle, you won't find anyone better.
Ask me anything about modules. Welcome. You're here for modules, right? Ask me anything about modules. If all modules were the same, I'd be out of a job, right? Hey there. What can I help you with?
You don't have to flatter me, Alpha. I'll do my best to help you, Bunny. Most of the information we have about this operation is classified military intelligence with restricted access. Even Alpha and I can't get hold of it easily. However, I was able to identify the location of the operation zone. I've sent the coordinates to your receive. Again, this is classified military information, and it needs to stay that way. It has to remain confidential.
Operation status, jammer installation complete. Using the jammer to neutralize the distress signal sent by Etterlick should allow us to bypass one of the Vulgus' security measures. Your task is to protect the jammer while I work. Devices disabled. Mission accomplished.
Bypass the multi-stage security system, you'll need a unique authentication sequence used by the Legion of Immortality. You need to collect samples from the Legion in good condition and put them in the supply box. These will be analyzed in Albion, and they'll send us a sequence for security and authentication. The authentication sequence is as good as secured. Good job. This is Sharon. All Vulgus security levels have been successfully deactivated. All units regroup at my position to investigate the Ironheart excavation site.
Regroup? Huh. Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'll sit this one out, Sharon.
What did you say?
Get to the point. It seems as if all of you have forgotten, so I'll repeat myself one more time, since they're here too. It looks like it'll be a guide-related mission from this point on, which means I can't have anything to do with it, right? You're the one who told me I should be in a supporting role, Sharon, yeah? Since I can't connect to the guide. Report that to HQ however you like. It's not like they have a cell that can hold me, do they? Nah. Maybe I will sit in a cell and get some rest. It's been a while. Last time I was there, it was really fun. I'm not sure who blabbed about my secret operation, but had it been carried out, not only would we have the Iron Heart, but Corell's heart as well. I guess that's just my little walk down memory lane. Have fun with your imaginary friend. Peace.
Sharon, give me the order and I will track him.
Let him be. Jeremy's RK ability is teleportation. We have no way of catching him.
Descendant, although it was not my intention, there seems to be a misunderstanding with Jeremy. I do not choose who I am linked with. The process follows strict directives woven into RK by the ancestors. I have no knowledge of the details of these directives, nor am I capable of ignoring them. If I were able to alter those directives, would I have been able to resolve this misunderstanding with Jeremy? Could I ease Alpha's suspicions? The human mind is difficult to comprehend. It feels like a mass of powerful energy surrounded by a resilient defense mechanism, almost like an Ironheart. I apologize for occupying your time before an important operation. I will focus on the emergency restoration protocol and remain on standby. I hope I can bring results that reflect the level of effort you have put into this operation.
You'll need to leave First Descendant. Sharon's prosthesis has been damaged from excessive RK use. We'll join you as soon as we can.
Don't worry. You've seen what they're capable of. I hope these repairs can be done quickly.
So this is the Ironheart excavation site that was documented in the ancestors' data. As you must know, the Ironhearts are mysterious entities that somehow made their way to Ingress. They were first discovered by the architect. The Ironhearts were passed down to the ancestors, my creators, and the forebears of the Descendants. We don't know why the ancestors hid all the Ironhearts. But this much is certain. I was created in order to protect them. After that, well, we'll come to that once we find you an Ironheart. I'm detecting an unusual energy flow nearby. These are traces of Ironheart excavation. Ironheart microparticles confirmed. Initiating emergency restoration protocols to repair damaged systems. Descendant, we have retrieved Ironheart elements from the excavation site. Next, I must... Oh no. This wasn't just an excavation site. I need to interface with the quantum monolith, a data processor belonging to the ancestors. This device contains my restoration data, which can be copied using Ironheart microparticles. I can guide you there. However, to access the quantum monolith, Descendant, I must undergo investigation here first. I should still have access, as it was my system and memories that were damaged. While the authentication is in progress.
Intruders accessing core asset. Approaching high-risk levels. Initiating facility lockdown procedures.
Descendant, passageways are being blocked across the facility. I'll do my best to find a way out, but it won't be easy to maneuver. Please be careful. There's an excavation site. must have been countless experiments conducted here using the Iron Hearts. Emergency restoration protocols would have been one of them.
No one can leave! Executing Legion of Immortality General Amon's orders!
I must access the quantum monument. Defeat the Vulgus.
The void corrosion has encroached upon my legion.
That is because of an unknown error. It will be fixed momentarily. Complete. The security threat has been neutralized. I have completed all preparations as you commanded.
Begin.
The Legion will be reborn through the Iron Heart.
Rise, my warriors! Give your lives for them all! To our enemy! Stand at the vanguard for me, Al-Zaruk. I will stand at the vanguard of the Legion. Al-Zaruk submits to Lord Karel's command. Amun, transport the Ironheart to my fortress. Initiate the data inversion immediately.
Descendant. Even though the Vulgus managed to access the data first, I have been able to restore one of my core functions through the emergency restoration protocol. I am finally able to detect the Ironheart. Let me explain this function and how to utilize it. Descendant. My Ironheart detection system has a scanning function which uses Arcade to detect certain environmental factors. Within zones where Arcade can be detected, my system can track the Ironheart through its unique pulse, particles, and energy. The tracking range and accuracy depends on where Arcade particles are distributed across Ingress. At present, considering the operational zones where Descendants are deployed, approximately 35% of Ingress can be covered. I have just detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location, which is important. There is clearly something of interest at the Vulgus munitions factory. By using my detection system Descendant, I can find traces of the Ironheart through Descendants who have been deployed throughout Ingress. However, the Vulgus called Eamon, the one who accessed the quantum monolith, gained a great deal of relevant information after repairing the Ironheart. It seems the theft of the Ancestors' data was also led by Eamon. Even though he is a Vulgus, he possesses a high level of understanding of the Ancestors' technology. However, a Vulgus is only a Vulgus. They cannot defeat a direct descendant of the Ancestors. Use me to find the Ironheart Descendant. I will assist humankind from this moment forward.
Descendant, I've received the report on the results of the operation from Colon Special Forces. It seems the core functionality of the guide has been restored. I have a related operation for you. Please return to HQ. There isn't much time. We have to... Descendant, a quick word before the briefing. You seem to be a little too preoccupied with your AI friend at the moment. As your commander, I'm concerned that you're prioritizing the guide over the operation report. The guide is only a strategic tool. I tolerate her under the condition she does not cross a line, but I don't consider her to be one of us. She is essentially data, and data can be manipulated by external factors, or even by itself. We should never see it as being at the same level as those of us who have fought together against the enemy, and built our trust in each other in the process. Keep that in mind, and you'll be the best teammate anyone could ask for. That being said, this operation was expertly handled. I trust you to keep up the good fight, Descendant. As you may be aware, the guide has detected Ironheart particles at Sharon's location. The location is inside the Vulgus munitions factory. Sharon and the Colon Special Forces have been conducting stealth reconnaissance, but time is running out. Once you've completed preparations, join Sharon and look for traces of the Ironheart. We've kept our end of the bargain. Now it's the guide's turn to prove her worth.
HQ, we appreciate the support. The operation will commence once reinforcements arrive.
I miss my friend. No idea
It'll be fine for a while. Oh, sorry I wasn't able to help you at the excavation site. To be honest, I'm not sure if my functions, my skills, are at full capacity. It takes a huge amount of RK to maintain the Kuiper retroreflective active camouflage. It feels like my prosthesis and I are both slowly reaching our limits. But if the Ironheart is within our reach, I have to give it my all, even if it breaks me. The guide said that Ironheart particles are the fundamental clues we need to track it. They're kind of like footprints that the Ironheart leaves behind, wherever it goes. I've compared the location of these footprints to the recon intel. We should find more conclusive data as we continue to follow the traces. I'll send the details of the zone you'll need to cover to your receive. The remaining zones will be covered by Colon operatives.
The Vulgus munitions factory. It truly is an ominous and horrifying place.
Can you feel that?
I can experience a variety of sensations through the Archae of Descendants, including the phantom pain you feel.
That's for me to deal with, Guide. Don't poke your nose in where it's not wanted. Once I've dealt with my personal target, then I'll ask you to remove the pain.
You refer to the Vulgus you were pursuing. Our reconnaissance indicates this is a Vulgus weapon processing facility. To analyze the particle flow, we need to take a closer look inside. The Vulgus are disrupting the particle flow. Please eliminate the Descendant. More enemies. I'm detecting signals from multiple Vulgus. attack is relentless. Where are all their forces coming from?
Already destroyed their barracks. There must be another military facility somewhere.
Just right particle flow. The Ironheart came through here and was moved somewhere else. I'll keep analyzing. I'm not sure why, but I'm sensing Ironheart particles in the wastewater in this zone. Can you confirm?
I've taken over operation of the environmental data collector we've installed. When we retrieve it, we'll be able to check the environmental parameters without coming into contact with contaminated wastewater. Will there be enough data for you to perform an analysis, Guide? You know our equipment can't detect Ironheart traces.
Once I complete analysis of the composition of the wastewater, I should know why I can detect Ironheart particles.
Then we'd better retrieve the data quickly. It will only be available for a limited amount of time.
This wastewater is composed of Kuiper extracts and Vulgus electrolytes. The Ironheart particles are most likely bound between those two substances. That's why they were detected intact and not dispersed.
If we can find the source of that wastewater, we could trace them more accurately. I have a place in mind. HQ. While investigating traces of the Ironheart, we've discovered a zone in the factory area that looks to have been recently expanded. Considering the circumstances, I think it's highly likely that there's an Ironheart inside. Requesting approval for further investigation.
Approval granted, but proceed with extreme caution. A large assault ship has been spotted in the airspace above the area. Based on the ship's class, we think it's the same one that we saw Carell board. Either he's there in person, or something worthy of his attention is happening. We should be prepared for a challenging situation. We may need to deploy more Descendants. Over and out.
Sharon, do we have any tactical weapons that are capable of destroying the entire Vulgus industrial area? If the Ironheart is here, we may be able to investigate after destroying the enemy's facilities.
It's an interesting idea, Guide. But if it were possible, we would have already done it. Unfortunately, we don't have the capabilities to create such a powerful weapon. The anti-air gun in the Albion Mountains is probably our heaviest. That's why the Descendants and the Ironheart are humanity's last hope. Closing the dimensional wall to isolate Ingress from the Colossi and the Vulgus. That would be the ultimate tactical weapon. Anyway, we don't have time to chat. Let's head to the restricted zone.
Descendant, I can detect both Ironheart particles and its pulse in this zone. It keeps moving. If you and Sharon can widen the range of Arche, I can obtain more accurate information. Please help me. Also, my system has been more inconvenienced than I expected. I believe that once it was restored, I would be able to locate the Ironhearts wherever they may be in Ingress. However, it may be that my system has yet to be completely restored. As I was created for the Ironheart, I assumed that my performance would not be this lackluster. In order to achieve my goal, our goal, my performance will need to improve.
Let's think about that later, if we make it out alive. If the Vulgus have a large assault ship, they'll soon be pouring into this place. Number 17 and I will operate in stealth mode. You stay sharp.
Descendant, I have found a suitable location for detecting Ironheart. This is a large nuclear reactor, which is connected to this entire zone. By comparing the reactor's pulses with the Vulgus biosignal, I can detect pulses in a wide area. the nuclear reactor. But right up until it was deactivated, I could detect Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location. Right up until it was deactivated, I could detect Ironheart pulses. I'll attempt to trace that location. Descendant, I have pinpointed the location where all of the Ironheart traces converge. It is hidden within the facility of the Legion of Immortality. I can detect a continuous Ironheart pulse and particles, as well as a small amount of energy from this place. And they seem to be moving. I recommend we investigate this place, Descendant. I'll need you to lend me your strength.
Sharon, I will stay behind and retrieve the cache of Vulgus experiment records. I'm sure they'll contain valuable information.
I'll enter the inner facility first. Join me when you're ready. Most of the main passageways are now either blocked or destroyed. It appears the enemy intends to destroy the entire facility. Air vents, drainage pipes, maintenance ducts. Use any available alternative means of escape that you can.
Sharon, I've restored some of the data from the Vulgus experiment. According to these records, the facility you're in is the private farm of General Amon of the Legion of Immortality. As it was Ironheart traces which led us to this place, Corell and Amon might actually be there.
It won't be an easy fight if they are.
Sharon,
awaiting your transmission.
the traces of the Ironheart detected here. They're... never mind. I will let you know after I've performed further analysis.
Okay, Guide. Synchronize the alarms with the nuclear reactor's self-destruct switch. What the hell are they thinking? They'd rather take everyone and everything with them than give up the Ironheart. I can modify the circuitry, find the alarms and destroy them. We need to stabilize the deactivated reactor. Turn on the coolers. I'll continue tracking the Ironheart traces.
Units transmitting critical operation details. From the restored Vulgus experiment records, I've reconstructed an audio recording that seems to have been made at the time of the experiments. Listen.
These are where we come straight up from the Ironheart. Rise, my warriors. It's your lives for... Back to the platform. Understand the Vanguard. House Rogue submits to Lord Corell's command. The Ironheart will initiate the investing region.
It cannot be. Then these Ironheart traces are...
Al's a rogue.
I see you found experiment records. Seems I wasn't thorough enough to clean up. You
Ironheart's already gone.
So this is why the traces felt displaced. Descendant, in order to increase the accuracy of our pursuit, we need to access all the data on Vulgus units who were transformed using the Ironheart. You must defeat Alzarok. Sharon, will you relay a detailed report of this to HQ?
Will do. I'll be on my way. Good hunting.
No chance!
It is over, Descendant. But there is so much information that is hard to accept. This Alzarok is one thing. But Karel has ordered for the Ironheart to be inverted. Whatever that means. Inversion. What could that mean?
On inverting the Ironheart data. If you do that, we won't be able to decipher the unidentified guide code. And
Enough! The Ironheart data must be inverted in order to destroy the dimensional wall. I don't have time to think about that! You understand my vision now, don't you?
Oh, of course. I am only thinking of our research.
I'm glad to hear that our objectives are aligned. Initiate the data inversion. Kickoff will engulf Inquis. The roars of the Vulgus will fill this land with fear.
Descendant, I have the results of the operation from Sharon. Alpha is tied up with an emergency meeting with the Magisters. I have been ordered to brief you on the follow-up operation. Please make your way to HQ.
You already look fine, but I'm gonna make you look finer. Yeah, so what do you need?
Descendant, number 17 here. I'll be assisting you on this operation. Good luck. Enemy structure operational. Initiating full-scale blocking operation. High-level enemy identified. Designating as top priority target. Please eliminate.
Do you need information? Excellent work, Descendant. This operation has yielded many results, both positive and negative. Firstly, all of HQ is encouraged by the possibilities presented by the guide. Although we were unsuccessful in our retrieval of the Ironheart, thanks to the guide's tracking function, we uncovered the Vulgus restricted zone and Alzerok. This proves the guide's tracking system exists and is operational. However, the ingenuity that the Vulgus demonstrated with their use of the Ironheart was alarming. So much so that the Magisters requested an emergency meeting with Alpha. In particular, the inversion of the Ironheart ordered by Corral is something we must understand, no matter the cost. From this point forward, HQ plans to adopt the guide's tracking functionality and the various other information sources they offer as official operational elements. The Descendants will soon be deployed throughout Ingress. Use the guide to track the Ironheart and proceed with the mission to investigate the inversion procedure. Humanity's full-scale counterattack has officially begun. However, I know you have just completed a difficult mission. Until the official deployment order is given, please go ahead with whatever preparations you need to make. The Magisters have promised their full commitment to support research efforts, so this is the perfect opportunity to request anything you need from an ace. Before you go, Descendant, I have a personal request. Can you retrieve the Alzarok autopsy report from Jeremy? The report was intended for delivery to the Magisters. Jeremy requested a brief look at it, and I haven't heard from him since. I understand things are strained between you and Jeremy due to the recent operation, but I hope you'll do this anyway. Descendant, just in case, I hope you're not disappointed that Jeremy wasn't punished. I actually saw Alpha slap Jeremy earlier. No one enjoys seeing their superior do something like that, but I believe it was a more appropriate punishment than a court-martial. I'm sure that Jeremy has also learned his lesson.
Do you think you're the only ones worried about Albion? What the? You're still alive? I was just reading the report on Alzarok and thinking, wouldn't it be great if he, killed you? Anyway, looks like he got to experience something interesting at least. A Vulgus redesigned by the Ironheart. Wow. Now, that's an area that fascinates me. If I knew you'd be seeing that, I would have stuck with the operation instead of dropping out. And I wouldn't have been slapped by Alpha. Anyway, why are you here? I'm in a bad enough mood already after Sharon and her minion drop by to give me a piece of their minds? What? Nell wants the report? Ah, so you're her gopher. You really are something. You can take it and buzz off. You probably don't have time to argue with me anyway. Sharon mentioned earlier that the guide isn't in the best shape. All these so-called grown-ups having fun with their imaginary friend. Oh, get lost! You're annoying me!
Descendant, something has altered the properties of the Ironheart I was connected to. As soon as we returned to Albion, I leapt between the arcade of different descendants in order to find Ironheart traces. I discovered traces in the desert and forest areas, and at that moment, I felt great pain. In human terms, it felt like my skin was peeling off and my flesh was melting. Descendant, I suspect this phenomenon is caused by an inversion process. If Corell and Eamon had enough time after moving the Ironheart, they may have managed to perform it. However, aside from this pain, I was unable to obtain any further information. For the properties of the Ironheart to change, a tremendous amount of energy would have to be released.
Void dimension link detected. Colossus approaching. I repeat, void dimension link detected. Colossus approaching.
Descendant, a Colossus has appeared. This Colossus, is it merely coincidence? Can this truly be unrelated to the Ironheart inversion? The ancestors always removed the environmental value of chance from all variables. They believed all things had a cause and an effect. My thoughts are all muddled. It would be best to focus on the Colossus for now, Descendant. As for the inversion, I will investigate.
Classification type, stunning beauty. All descendants in Albion, prepare for an intercept battle.
They're arriving on the daily! And not just any Colossus, but stunning beauty? Somebody buy Alpha a new pen? He's gonna have to write so many letters of condolences today.
Alpha let him off with just a slap in the face. He should have gone after his neck.
I don't disagree.
Descendant, the Colossi are discerning Ingress through an incomprehensible pattern. Although the expected time of arrival for the Colossus is unknown, the fact that a stunning beauty is drawn here alarms me. Stunning beauty is a Colossus which is insensitive to energy. Even during the apocalypse, only a few of them are recorded to have appeared in Ingress. But now, suddenly, one is making its way to Ingress. This is not a situation to be taken lightly. Descendant, I'll send you to the Void Dimension once you have finished battle preparations. I hope the intercept is successful. Have you completed preparations? The space-time fabric of the Void is extremely illogical. I am analyzing the Void Paradox. Descendant, you have been successful. We live in uncertain times, but thankfully the skills of the Descendants remain stable and unchanged. Even if using the word stable in our current situation is embarrassingly ironic. The dimensional wall is currently in the worst state it has ever been. Before now, it was almost unheard of for an energy-insensitive colossus like Stunning Beauty to be able to find its way here. We must find the Ironheart and connect it to the Prime Hands as soon as possible. Closing the dimensional wall is the only way we can achieve true victory over the Colossi.
I suppose everyone thinks the dimensional wall is the only answer.
Are you saying it isn't?
I cannot say whether it is or not. As we do not have an Ironheart, nothing can be proven.
You think too much. We should find a heart and prove it then. I'm pretty sure there's one in Vespers. Traces from another Ironheart have been discovered in a forest in Vespers. I've already spoken with HQ. Let's discuss operation strategies. Come with me.
Modules will make you stronger. Ask me anything about modules. Ask me anything about modules. Welcome. You're here for modules, right? Hey there. What can I help you with? Ask me anything about modules. Welcome to the Modules Lab. Ask me anything about modules. Modules will make you stronger.
What's going on? Sorry, I know you probably wanted some rest after taking out that Colossus. Anyway, like I said over comms, we've discovered Ironheart traces in Vespers. I had business to attend to with the Order of Truth, so I was hunting down some Vulgus there. Suddenly, the guide appeared, claiming she felt the pulse of an Ironheart in the area, and then simultaneously in multiple areas. According to the guide, these multiple signals weren't byproducts of the Ironheart like Alzarok was. Comparing it with the data we have now, there really seems to be a difference. Now, well, it's obvious, isn't it? We have no other choice but to check every single location she's detected. When I came back to HQ to report on my operation, they told me to take reinforcements, and I chose you. Jeremy makes me very uncomfortable, but I have no trouble trusting you. So, you in? I'll take your silence as consent. I knew you'd accept, even if you didn't actually say it. We'll head to the Vespers outpost once you're ready. It'll give Dr. Glade time to join us.
Welcome. You're here for modules, right?
You're here. I thought you'd be late. We've got a few things to do. We need to hurry.
What seems to be the problem?
We've received operation details. The Ironheart pulse has supposedly been detected in this area, but it's impossible to triangulate since it's dispersed in several directions.
That's correct, Clay. I can feel it clearly, but it's hard for me to pinpoint its exact position. However, I can confirm it is in this zone.
We were deployed here to find one thing, and now we also have to find the Ironheart. We'll have to look under every rock in Vespers.
Freyna and I were sent here to look for a group of Vulgus, who have stolen RK serum from Jaber and some other descendants. Freyna, Sharon, even I've already had my RK serum stolen by them once. Things will only get worse if we let them take any more of it.
Those bastards. They satisfy their own desires by taking everything we humans have. They have to be stopped.
If the Ironheart is underground, then it makes sense that we're detecting the pulse in multiple locations. Not only is 55% of the surface of Vespers composed of slickencyde, but this zone has a high distribution of strange-looking rocks. It's also one of the few zones where there are Ancestors' ruins on the surface, and most of the Ancestors' ruins are built out of slickencyde. That's why it's difficult to pinpoint the exact point of origin of the pulses. The characteristics of slickencyde make it easier for pulses to pass through it, which means there's a higher probability of pulses being detected simultaneously from multiple directions.
When I analyze the strata, there are spaces that feel empty to me. They are most likely where the Ancestors' ruins can be found. All entrances to these spaces emit pulses of similar intensity. However, you will need to confirm in person whether these places are the correct paths to lead us to the Ironheart.
In that case, we'll need to check all the places detected by the guide. There's no way the Vulgus didn't prepare for this.
All right, let's spread out and find the entrance that leads underground. That'll split the enemy's attention, so it's a good tactical approach as well.
Freyna, I understand there are specialized drones that Albion has created to find the Ironheart.
That's correct. Enzo's sending the drones here shortly.
That is excellent news. Let's begin our search for the Ironheart device.
These ones may not pose much of a challenge, but another force is inbound. Prepare yourself.
We have guards stationed at the entrance. Even the Vulgus know that there is an Ironheart here.
High-level enemy has been detected. Prepare for engagement.
Target spotted. Danger assessment normal. Defeating this Vulgus will force the enemy to retreat.
Enemy forces within the operation zone have been eliminated. Great job. The scan drone has been successfully transferred. If you approach it, it will recognize your receive and activate scanning operations.
Descendant, I was able to connect with the scan drone through your receive. I will analyze the geological data that has been collected and narrow the range of potential entrances. Data acquisition at 100%. Connection to the drone has been severed. Reanalyzing the collected data.
This is Glay. I've found something. Meet me at the ruins outpost.
Talk to me. This place has been mentioned in records throughout history. And as the name suggests, these are the ruins. Turns out this is where the greatest recorded number of ancestors gathered. Investigation by the excavation team and analysis by the magisters uncovered records mentioning the breakout of civil war. The ruins are evidence, remnants of this war. We don't yet know why the Civil War happened. Albion collapsed as a result of the war, and this is the only surviving record.
Given the Ironheart is here, that may have been a factor behind the outbreak of any civil war. Past or present, the Ironheart definitely has the capability to turn the fate of Ingress upside down. That hasn't changed. There were bound to be conflicts.
This is the first I've heard of this civil war. Frena's theory is quite interesting. The Ironheart in Ingress. It could be powerful and dangerous enough to turn the fate of everything in existence upside down.
Glay, I know you're a medical doctor. Do you have doctorates in history and geology as well?
I just wanted to be able to explain anything my daughter was curious about. To be the person who could answer any questions she asked.
Sounds like you'll have a lot to talk about once she returns. You must have experienced and learned countless things during the time she's been away.
I have so much to tell her, we'll probably stay up all night. Anyway, we should hurry. Guide, can you do an in-depth analysis of the ruins, please? There must be an entrance somewhere.
Enzo here. I've been able to expand my range to the vicinity of the ruins thanks to the data acquired by the drones and the guide. Transmitting surface analysis information and intel on potential entrances to Aceves.
That's not far from my current position. I'll go. Glay, I'll go. That's where the bastards from the Order of Truth have settled. I'm the only one who can withstand the toxins they use.
I'll leave it to you then.
HQ will continue to monitor the situation. Should anything happen to Freyna, please report immediately. Guide, just as you said, the Vulgus have realized there is an Ironheart here. A Vulgus battleship has been spotted heading to our current location.
A battleship? Then there can be no doubt that there is an entrance here.
Watch out. Movement on your right flank. reinforcements spotted. There's too many blind spots. Get to the top of structures and engage them from there.
Descendant, they aim to prevent you from reaching the entrance. Exercise caution when engaging in all combat.
All enemy forces have been eliminated. Excellent job. Guide, just as you said, the Vulgus have realized there is an Ironheart here. A Vulgus battleship has been spotted heading to our current location.
A battleship? Then there can be no doubt that there is an entrance here.
On your right flank. There's too many blind spots. Get to the top of structures and engage them from there.
Descendant, they aim to prevent you from reaching the entrance. Exercise caution when engaging in combat.
All enemy forces have been eliminated. Excellent job.
This is Glay to HQ in Freyna. The enemy has made the entrance discovered at the ruins currently inaccessible. Freyna, what's the situation on your side?
It's not inaccessible. but I'm worried about how the Order's toxins might affect you.
Looking at Freyna's route, I can detect large, quick pulses occurring at the place marked as the entrance.
That means there's a high chance this entrance is connected to the Ancestors' ruins. Let's regroup and go together.
Mentioned the Colon Special Forces. Isn't that a secret spy unit? No wonder these records were classified. I need to talk to someone who knew my parents. I don't think I'll get much out of Sharon or Freyna. Glay! Glay might know something.
Hi, Bunny. That's a serious look. What is it?
Did you know that my parents were part of the Colon Special Forces?
Yes. You finally found out, huh? I didn't know they were part of Colon exactly, but I knew whatever operations they were doing, they weren't ordinary. You should know, Bunny. They joined the Colon Special Forces for you. When you were very young, I remember them saying they wanted to create a world for you where you would have nothing to fear. I think that's why they joined.
What do you mean?
They became soldiers because they loved you so much. They wanted to protect you, the same as many people in Albion do now. It's ironic if you think about it.
Okay, I can't think about that now. Do you know of any descendants who might know anything about the Colon Special Forces from around that time?
Sharon. She was the only one who worked with your parents. Bunny, wait. Your parents were dealing with their own issues too, so...
Yeah, I get it. I just need to know what it was exactly that they were dealing with.
What do you want? There you are, kid. Glay filled me in. I've been waiting for you. To be honest, I don't know much about your parents. Back then, I was just the youngest recruit, and they were pros. Don't be too disappointed, though. I do have a general idea of the operations that were carried out back then. There was an incident where a relic of the ancestors excavated by Albion was stolen by the Vulgus. Everyone in the Colon Special Forces was sent to retrieve it. I think your parents were part of that operation. I'll send you the coordinates of the operation zone where I believe they were most active. You should be able to find something there.
Thanks.
Good luck, kid.
Descendant, this is a bogus logistics facility where raw materials and products needed for the munitions factory are distributed. As this is where the Ironheart particles were detected, we may find a lead in their distribution records. If you can connect your receive to a terminal, I'll try hacking into the distribution records. Substantial logistical activity discovered. A large volume of construction materials have been relocated from here to a suspect zone. At the same time, secret supplies have been transported from there back to here. This is definitely suspicious. I'll send this info to Sharon. Descendant, this place is a Kuiper mine that has been taken over by the Vulgus. The Vulgus' Kuiper mining methods are extremely aggressive, leading to devastating contamination. The ores we seize from them are unusable, so they must be destroyed. That storage box contains the Kuiper collected by the enemy. Opening it will reveal the contaminated Kuiper. Kuiper disassembler operational. Please destroy as much of the Vulgus Kuiper as possible. Tactical aim achieved. Mission accomplished, Descendant.
Magisters are probably humanity's real hope, don't you think?
You're here. It's a good thing I took this side. Neither you nor Glay would have lasted. Let's go find this entrance. Ugh, I thought I crushed the Order. They've just regrouped. They're so horrible and dirty and disgusting. And there seems to be no end to them.
Freyna, calm down. Your heart rate is increasing. It could trigger a traumatic episode.
We don't have any sedatives. So if you start having seizures, we'll have to send you back to Albion.
All right, I get it. I'll calm down. Don't get your panties in a bunch. It's not enough for me to black out.
Hey, Kate? Can you hear me?
Huh? Freyna? Yes, I hear you. What's happening? Anything I can help you with?
I overheard your comms with Glay. You're doing something with the fungus, right? If we collect enough fungi, will you be able to make an antidote or antibody that gives us immunity?
Of course. Although it may take some time, it's not impossible.
Great idea. Kate, if you have any questions during production, get in touch right away. And remember to be methodical. You make mistakes when you're rushing.
Hey, that was over 5 years ago. I'm not the same person I was back then.
Our objective is to secure as much fungi as possible. Let's hurry. If we have an antidote or antibodies that give us immunity, the mission will become much easier.
Attempting access. I will disable their security protocols.
It's been smooth sailing up until now. Keep your guard up.
Security protocols have been disabled. Descendant, destroy the upper section.
That should be good enough. Great work. Those order bastards planted some kind of device here. We'll need to open it to find out what it is. But let's send it to Kate first and get her to analyze it.
Accelerating decryption process. Descending. We need to prevent the enemy advancing.
We have to destroy the upper section of the device. That way we'll be able to find out what they're hiding inside it.
Access successful. Beginning decryption. I was able to hack into a section of the data. I've discovered that it is a substance administered by Vulgus of the Order of Truth. It appears to be a type of booster that activates toxins in the body.
They were afraid we would destroy this, so they hid it.
Attempting access. I will disable their security protocols.
sailing up until now. Keep your guard up.
Security protocols have been disabled. Descendant, destroy the upper section.
That should be good enough. Great work.
Using the material you gathered, I've made an antibody that gives immunity from the Order's most common toxin. But because of time constraints, I haven't been able to conduct any formal clinical trials.
So we're the guinea pigs.
This will be an excellent opportunity, Kate. You'll be able to collect data on the side effects of the antibody on the Descendants.
Hi there. Do you have some DNA that needs analyzing? Glay, I don't think we should joke about it.
You sound just like Jin. Adorable. Thank you for your hard work. Don't worry, I know how capable you are.
I heard you worked on my arcane neutralizer. I'm sure it'll be effective against the toxin again.
You can trust me. To be honest, I tested it on myself at the clinical trial stage. I'm fine, so as Descendants, you definitely will be.
What did you just say, Kate? That neutralizer was made from the Order's toxin. Do you know how dangerous that was? Do I have to lose you too?
Glay, I'm also part of Albion headquarters. I'm one of many people working for Albion and all of humanity. The Descendants shouldn't be the only ones ready to sacrifice themselves. I'm ready to do my part. Let's help each other.
Lighten up, Glay. Thanks to Kate's efforts, we can continue with the operation.
Glay, this antibody will help you to stay strong for this operation. After all, it will give you immunity, and I've tested it on myself.
We'll let it go this one time. But never again, you hear me? Okay. Thank you, Kate. Really. Now that everybody has the antibody, let's go get that Iron Heart. We can't let the Vulgus take this one, too.
If everyone is ready, I will lead the way. Let us find the Iron Heart.
Guide, can you sense the waves emitted from the Ironheart?
I can. However, my scans show there is a space deep beneath this area. The energy waves are being dispersed by a metal device installed by the enemy. It will be difficult to determine the exact location of the Ironheart.
Damn it! Not only did they spread their toxins everywhere, they installed this as well.
They most likely intended to use it to transport the Ironheart they found.
Analyzing layout of the ruins. RK covers 40% of the entire area. Point of note, the RK corresponds to a single pattern, unlike the patterns of Descendants. According to the layout analysis results, the location of these readings is identical to that used for tombs and altars. If I compile all of the data we have gathered, there is a high probability that this is the tomb of one of the ancestors who died during the Civil War. The fact that they were laid to rest in such a deep location, either they were an ancestor of a high status, or they played an important role in the incidents related to the Ironheart. I've identified a Vulgus communications frequency being transmitted nearby. It will likely contain information we need. We should investigate. The Ironheart isn't here. The Vulgus came to excavate the remains of the ancestor. They wanted to open the ancestor's vault.
I don't understand. The remains of an ancestor are a vault. What do you mean? If the vault contains an Ironheart, it may have been placed there intentionally to prevent someone from leaving. The reason the Vulgus have extracted DNA from the remains is likely because the vault can only be accessed through a bioscan. If that's the case, then the occupant of this tomb is the same individual who locked the vault. That's correct. They must be planning to use the DNA to allow them to bypass the biometric authentication and claim the Ironheart.
This device interferes with the sieve-links. I'll restore the disrupted communications. Noise removal complete. Checking content. Sender. He says the Vulgus have been spotted moving to another zone.
Have they found a way to open the vault already? Damn it! We need to get to that vault. Wait, we should secure the ancestors' remains and the data just in case. If the vault can only be accessed through the biometric authentication of specific DNA, then we'll need that DNA as well.
I have disabled the Vulgus data repository for now. I have also collected the data formatted sample of the remains.
Well, that's a relief. Can't stand it when things go according to Vulgus plans. Let's deal with these bastards quickly to get moving.
Oh, how the weak struggle to define their purpose. Humans truly are foolish animals. Have you not yet learned that you are merely sacrificial offerings for us? Christian is an honor. Your flesh and blood will be offered for air.
Comms have been stabilized. All units returning return to Albion. Prepare for the next operation.
If you're gonna go out looking like that, you might as well write your last will and testament before you leave.
Are you?
There isn't much time. We have to hurry. We've confirmed the transmitted data. There's a vault where the ancestors kept the Ironheart. We can use this to our advantage. The Vulgus will need time to crack open the vault. Enzo, send the sample of the ancestors' remains received from the guide to Anais and tell her to hurry. We need to analyze the DNA and activate the biometric authentication before the Vulgus do. And to do that, we need to increase our combat forces in the field. I'll send any off-duty descendants, rendezvous with them at the outpost, and proceed with the operation.
Jeez, why am I being called in? I thought I'd be getting some R&R. Making me work with crazies thinking they see a ghost. Nah, I've got other things to do.
Jeremy, there's an Ironheart in this zone. Have you forgotten that finding the Ironheart is the #1 priority for all descendants? Also, since you've been assigned to a mission, you should conduct yourself properly. Continue to be uncooperative, and I will report you to your superiors.
An Ironheart? Oh, Man, why didn't you say so from the start?